What's up, beasties? My name is 64 Beastie Man. Now, before I get into today's video, I'd like to talk to you guys about the media. For several generations, media has helped to enrich our lives and open us up to new experiences, new tales, and even new worlds and different points of view from people that we are not. Whether that media is good or bad for us is all a matter of perception, and it's one of the reasons why human beings are unique from one another. However, when we get a sneak peek or a preview of that media, it can often lead to hype. Now, I'm not one who's immune to falling into the hype train from time to time. Even I can get suckered in when I see or hear of a series of games, movies, TV shows, or even books that I think are pretty interesting or like from past installments in the series. With that said, there's a lot that I'm looking forward to in the upcoming days, but for this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about the top 10 pieces of media that I'm looking forward to experiencing. I could have just made a cop-out video and said that I'm looking forward to seeing how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to do since their 5-11 stint last season, but that's another video for another time, and for another playlist of mine for that matter. But anyway, let's get right down to the countdown. Number 10, NBA Live 19. And I know what you're probably asking right about now. Beastie, why are you putting this game on the list and not NBA 2K19? The 2K series is better with its My Career, you fucking faggot. Now, it's not that I don't like the 2K series, quite the contrary. I think it's a great emulation of the game of basketball, but I feel like EA Sports NBA Live series eased me into the basketball game a little bit better, thanks to a tutorial on its basic controls, its lob passes, its alley-oops, its screen sets, and its post-ups. Plus, the way you can level up primary and secondary skills with your own basketball player in NBA The Streets and NBA The League seems much quicker than having to go through a tedious process of upgrading your player with VC coins that you can gain throughout matches in 2K's My Career mode. Now, with the 2019 game coming up, as well as the addition of creating a female NBA player that you could potentially put in either the NBA or the WNBA, if I was to make a decision between NBA Live 19 or NBA 2K19, I would lean more towards NBA Live. Feel free to pin me to the cross now, 2K fans. Number 9, Venom. Remember when Venom showed up in Spider-Man 3 for only a couple of minutes and then died from an explosion? That really pissed off a lot of fans who were expecting Venom to play a big part in the Spider-Man film. Well, thanks to Sony and Marvel, Venom is being given another chance. And looking at the trailers for this movie, this thing is turning out really good so far. Watching it, there's a bit of intimidation with both the person who Venom attaches himself to and the viewers watching. Heck, I know jack shit about Venom. I mean, by these trailers alone, I have a feeling that this movie is going to introduce Venom to me pretty well, while also integrating exciting battles in it to get fans of Venom excited. So yeah, this is a movie I'm also getting excited about, but not for the reason that most people are. Number 8, Crazy Rich Asians. Have you ever come across a trailer for a movie that looks so eventful and with the times that you can't help but wait to see the movie? Well, Crazy Rich Asians is one of those cases where I can't wait to see what's about to happen with the family dynamic. Also, this could be another case where Hollywood gets a wake-up call and realizes that movies without a predominantly white cast can make a fortune. It's happened earlier in the year with Black Panther, and I'm hoping that this is another one of those cases where having another race of people being the stars, this time Asians, coupled with a good script and excellent acting, can make a movie perform really well in the box office. Because if not, then I'd have to make a whole video about how this movie isn't all that good, and I'd have to hear from a bunch of people that I'm racist for not liking it. So please, Crazy Rich Asians, don't let me down. Number 7, Madden 19. Now we come to a game which is certainly decisive amongst fans. Most fans of the Madden series either love the franchise or hate the franchise because of what's been happening with each release. Me personally, I have a love-hate relationship with Madden because of all the cool shit and bullshit that I have encountered in all my years of playing it. Starting from Madden 99 on the PlayStation 1, to Madden 2005 and 2006 on the GameCube, to my long streak of playing Madden 12 through Madden 18 on a total of 4 systems, the PS3 and 4, and the Xbox 360 and 1. That being said, I am excited for Madden 19 because of the updated roster, some of the changes for Madden 18 being either necessary due to pressure from the fan base, or convenient in order to get rid of some of the problems with the game's core modes like Franchise Mode and its most popular game mode, Madden Ultimate Team, in order to please the fans. Not to mention, we get one more year of EA tracks, so we should be getting some kick-ass songs, as well as the return of Madden Long Shot, a mode where the player can step into the role of an aspiring football player that has a long shot of making it into the NFL due to certain circumstances where he could barely crack the 7th round in the draft. So, with all the changes that EA has made, as well as all the early access videos that are coming out, this game is definitely one where a bunch of hype could die out early, but I still want to pick it up and play it when it comes out. Number 6. Godzilla, King of Monsters. If you're lucky enough to live in an age where the TriStar Godzilla is a movie of little to no talk, then you most likely have never heard of Godzilla until you ran into some videos on the internet talking about it. With that said, Godzilla, the most famous Japanese monster icon and the king of the monsters, has been entertaining Japan and the rest of the world with its old cheesy movies for a long time. So much so that Legendary Studios would later go on to make a faithful representation to the Japanese Godzilla with their own movie, Godzilla. The movie did incredibly well when it came out in theaters. People enjoyed seeing Godzilla on the big screen for the first time since they had seen him survive being tossed into a volcano. And who can forget that almighty, all-powerful roar that he has? This Godzilla film caused a lot of fans to clamor in the streets for a second Godzilla film from Legendary Studios. And later on this year, fans are going to get their wish. Godzilla's second film, the intrigue should come from what's happening on in the plot and what monster Godzilla could possibly take on. Would it be Mechagodzilla, Jet Jaguar, Mothra? Who knows? But I do know this. When it comes out, I'm going to see it because I loved the first Godzilla film that Legendary Studios did. So this movie could be an opportunity for the kaiju god to get even more love. Number 5. Aquaman. Ever since I watched Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice, I have had a bit of a love and a hatred for this movie. Being one of DC's worst movies of all time, a lot of fans were disappointed that there was so much jam-packed into this film when just the conflict going on between Batman and Superman would have been enough. Nevertheless, DC started to produce films like Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, and the Justice League in order to help bring their movie sales and trust from DC fans back up. And now, with the announcement of a new Aquaman film coming out, I can't wait to see what DC does with the character. Jason Momoa is playing the role of Aquaman, and it should be fun to see how he represents the Aquaman of the original comics. Plus, let's face it, Aquaman has been a laughingstock by so many people for so long that he deserves a shot at a good film. Could this movie be the one to make people fall back in love with the character? Or will most people go see it mainly for Jason Momoa? Well, we shall see. If this movie ends up doing a lot better than I think it will be, I'll probably be the first one to say, you know what, Jason Momoa is a good Aquaman, and Aquaman really deserved this film. But that's all speculation. The only way to know for sure if this movie's any good is to go see it when it comes out, as I'll probably do since I want to see a DC hero in the spotlight other than Batman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Superman, the Teen Titans, you get the point. Number 4. Lego DC Supervillains. Legos. More specifically, Lego games. More specifically, the Lego Batman games. With each game, the player can fight crime in the streets, through the air, and in the water with the most famous duo of Batman and Robin. Not only that, but you could also play as some of Gotham's baddest criminals in villains mode. I love playing both the hero side and the villain side in each of these games. They let you experience how both sides of the stories play out, Whether you're stopping the Joker and Harley Quinn from releasing laughing gas all over Gotham City with Batman and Robin, or you're knocking cops out with Bane, everybody's favorite supervillain next to the Joker. Fans of the Lego Batman series and the DC Universe love these games to death, and for good reason. They're fun to play, easy with the controls, rich to the core with level environments, and the amount of playable characters in all three games, and the villains. Yeah, that's right, you knew I was going there. Now, some fans of the series, they'll be completely excited to know that there's a new game coming out where you can take control of all your favorite DC villains, thus getting to unleash your full dark side. I myself am also excited for this game. Not only will we be able to go through a solitary campaign through the eyes of our favorite villains, but it will be incredible to see what animations for weapons, attacks, and special abilities each supervillain has under his and her own arsenal. Number 3. Spyro, the Reignited Trilogy. Ever since the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy success, fans of the original PlayStation duo have been taking to the streets, asking and begging Activision to bring Spyro back as well. And lo and behold, our prayers have been answered, with Toys for Bob showcasing off a lot of content from the original 3 games, as well as the kick-ass cover art and the fact that Tom Kenny will be voicing Spyro for the first time since Enter the Dragonfly in all 3 games, Spyro, Spyro Ripto's Rage, and Spyro Year of the Dragon, plus a playable demo seen earlier in the year at E3, there's going to be a lot to get hyped about with this remaster. Though, let's hope that Activision isn't going to DLC hoard the second and third games to gamers who want to experience Spyro from his glory days on the PS1. And for God's sake, if you're going to do DLC in the future for this game, please make a DLC world for Year of the Dragon for Cinder so she can be playable. I mean, think about it. Not only would you get Legend of Spyro fans on board with this game, but you could introduce a new story for Cinder that doesn't affect the story of Year of the Dragon, or it doesn't conflict with the story of the Legend of Spyro story, or even the Skylanders Academy story. Plus, with Activision receiving praise for their Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy DLC, it would be all the more reason to have this as a safe bet for a little fan service for everyone who loved the Legend of Spyro series. Please do it for Cinder fans, Activision. You'll be loved a bit more for it. I promise. Number 2. Forza Horizon 4. As some of you on this channel know from my Forza 4 needs to be backwards compatible video, I am a big fan of Forza as a racing series. Ever since its conception on the original Xbox, Forza Motorsport has continued to remain a smashing hit for Microsoft and Turn 10 Studios, and to this day, it's one of the biggest draws of the Xbox One, rivaling the Gran Turismo series for the PlayStation up to the PS4. Whether you take to the streets of Dubai in the nearest Porsche, or you drive Citroën on the most technical track to date, Fuji-Nikaido, there is always something in every Forza game that can draw racing fans into the series. From tuning your cars and applying decals to them, to competing in all-cross events and rival events out on the track, to even going through seasons of racing championships, buying new cars along the way, this series has pushed itself to new boundaries and new heights, especially with the spin-off series Forza Horizon produced by Playground Games. These games are open-world driving experiences where you can compete in championships, as well as earn some experience for prize spins, perks that can help you out, and billboards that, when smashed, can award you with experience or lower cost for fast travel. These games have a fascinating feel to them, with each game taking you from Colorado to France and Italy, and even to the wide variety of areas that can be found in Australia. These games are monsters in their own right, and with the 4th game slated for release later this year, based on the UK, there's a lot to get hyped for. Seeing as how Forza Horizon 3 sold a hell of a lot of copies, both in stores and digitally, it can be expected that Forza Horizon 4 will take everything you know and love about 3 and expand more on it, providing gamers with even more content in order to give them their money's worth. I'm definitely looking forward to this game, and so should every Xbox gamer who's looking for a fun game for the holidays. And number 1, The Happy Time Murders. When I went to go see Deadpool 2 in theater, and I saw this trailer, I was laughing my ass off over the fact that a Muppets movie could be raunchy and edgy. Now, keep in mind, I love the Muppets, and I'm sure everyone can agree that Jim Henson really made them into a childhood icon for generations to come. Ever since their humble roots in the Muppet Show, they've been in a lot of good films, and they've also given birth to other shows like Fraggle Rock, Sesame Street, and Bear in the Big Blue House. So it'll be very interesting to see what will happen when a Muppets film that's rated R makes it into theaters. Added on to the fact that Melissa McCarthy, someone who can be very funny when given funny stuff to say in a film, is going to be in it, this should be quite a comedy for everybody who loved the Muppets growing up. Melissa, see you on the big screen. Even though your 2016 movie Ghostbusters sucked hard, I have faith that you'll be entertaining to watch in The Happy Time Murders.